Morning. Welcome to a vinyasa practice here at Rome Yoga and Wellness. And because it's only an hour-long practice and I talk usually a little bit more than is necessary, we'll go ahead and get started pretty quickly. But today's flow will be twisting side body opening. There'll be a focus with finding your center, so stabilizing through your center so that you can move around that. And we'll do that through the structure and the idea of the mythological character, but also the archetypal energy of Durga. Again, because it's only an hour, we're not going to get into any specific myths, just to say that we'll work with that idea of an archetype or a goddess or a myth being something that is a map and a mirror. So it pulls these qualities out. It's a story that tells us about ourselves internally. So we're looking to embody these qualities, both on and off the mat, right, when they're positive. And we'll look at them, of course, being overshadowed by a bird. We'll look at them, of course, today in our physical body. So how can we be strong, steady, warrior-like, even in or amidst everything that's happening, you know, in the battlefield of the mind, in the moment in the body, and in what's happening in society. So we'll go ahead and start in child's pose. If you're comfortable with your knees wide apart, big toes together, please take that variation. If not, please take whatever variation feels best for you. Allow the head to move towards the mat. And let this be a spilling forward of the breath. So we'll take 3 rounds of whatever breath comes up for you this morning. So just a big, full inhale. And please find an open mouth exhale. Big, full, deep inhale. Big exhale to release. One more deep, full inhale. Full exhale. Begin to feel a heaviness in the sit bones and the back body. And from the anchor of your seat and your feet, find the length, or start to associate the length, the entire body, by dropping into your breath. So see if you can feel the rise of each inhale, both all the way up the front and all the way up the back body. Find that light pause at the apex of the breath. And then feel the exhale as it leaves all the way down the front, but also all the way down the back. So you might feel your breath as kind of a wave-like energy up and down both sides of your body. You practice Ujjayi pranayama, slow and steady aspirant breath in and out through the nose. You might begin to cultivate that practice here. This is not a requirement, just looking for a steady inhale and a steady exhale. So it's that cyclical, wave-like rhythm within your own body. So finding that pattern in the breath. And as you drop into the breath, and as we drop into a practice of twists and side bending, we'll start right here to hone into our body, to ingrain this sort of balance, whatever that is for our body, whatever that is for our mind and our heart. So we'll find this space of strength and balance, sort of the ocean floor beneath the waves. So we're finding the balance in the stability in our bodies, the balance in the stability of stillness before we move off of that center. Take a big inhale and now fill the breath into the back of the body, perhaps above the line of the pants or into the space of the kidneys. And a big and full exhale down to the ground. We'll slide up into the pads of our fingers, so little temple hands, lifting the chest just enough, lifting the gaze just enough, and we'll thread the needle from here. So your hips will lift a little naturally if this is okay. For your hips, you can keep the knees wide apart. If not, you can bring them together. Inhale, lifting the chest enough so that you can slide the right arm under the left, bringing the head of the right shoulder to the earth and the right ear. So your hips may or may not be all the way back and down. That's totally fine. Ryan's got his Right fingers extended. You might play with creeping them further back and away, but this is the beginning of your practice, so let this be a pouring of the breath. Notice how it feels to move from your center this morning. If this is at all destabilizing, again, coming back to the breath, using the breath, the inhale both in the front and the back, and the exhale both in the front and the back of your body. So as we move, we'll discuss the energies of Durga just a bit, just enough so that we infuse our practice with this idea of what she embodies, the qualities that she embodies in us. So Durga is a warrior goddess. She is a protector. She's strong. She's pragmatic. She's no nonsense. So she cuts through all the BS, all the stuff, and gets right to the heart of the matter. She's essentially the eye of the storm. So she's the stability that we seek to be able to stand in the middle of it all, in the middle of our thoughts, in the middle of our lives, maybe even in the middle of the current situation. So as you take your next inhale, start to come through center, breathe in that strength and stability, and feeling that fuel, feeling that connective energy as you exhale, left arm threads under the right, left ear to the earth. So this is not our deepest expression just yet, specifically as well because the knees are wide and the hips are moving back, and it might be a little bit or a lot. The intent here is more of kind of coaxing the body into the opening, into the twisting than it is to find our deepest rest. And we'll take 3 strong, steady breaths here, finding your own cycle, your own rhythm. Using the breath as a subtle catalyst to move with strength into our morning. Notice if you've arrived tired on the mat this morning, you can use your breath to create a bit more fuel or energy to begin to move your body creatively and with strength. Take 1 more deep breath cycle here. When you find the exhale, unravel, unwind, come back to center. Begin to press into both palms, come on up to all fours. And if it would feel good, you might tap the shins of the feet into the floor, striving to widen the toes. So spread your toes wide. Excellent. Press strong into the pads of the hands, into the thumbs specifically. Turn the forearms in, turn the upper outer arms out. Begin to tuck the toes and take your time moving into Adho Mukha Svanasana. So down dog, in the beginning of your practice. I know, well, I think it's his first down dog of the day, maybe not, but in the morning. So giving yourself all the time that you need to explore your down dog through movement and breath. It's often the shifting of the heels, and you playing with the palms, lifting the hips up and back, and assessing, taking stock of what feels balanced in the body. So letting this pose be a home base in a vinyasa flow practice, so space we might come back to, this and Balasana. Give yourself 3 strong breaths here. Allow there to be a landing point in the mind and the body, so this calm amidst the storm. And the storm in our yoga practice today is just the way that our flow will take us off our center, off of this blueprint of our body. So as we find our breath here, we'll take 1 more inhale. Gazes back towards the feet. And as you exhale, slowly walk the hands to the feet, noticing how the weight shifts more into the heels. Starting to keep the weight balanced over the entire length and width of the feet. You might let the hands slide up the shins or stay on the earth as you inhale. Ardha Uttanasana, extend the heart forward. Exhale, fold it on in and down. Let's go ahead and take the left hand slightly in front of the left foot. Begin to bend the right knee. Ooh, excuse me. Take the hands back and down. Sorry about that. Take the right hand directly in front of the right foot. Begin to bend the right knee. Take an inhale to lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, twist and open the body up towards the left. So left arm sweeps towards the sky. Gorgeous. Ryan's self-assisting here, but take a moment to draw the hips back in space. Left hip back slightly. It's okay if I turn you. If it doesn't want to. There we go. So hips are square as though a friend is squeezing the hips in towards the center line. And then as you exhale, fold in and down. Release the left arm to the earth. Go ahead and keep the left hand where it is. Walk it forward slightly. Begin to bring a bend to the left knee. Take an inhale and peel the body open to the right. So it's difficult to do, but as you open the heart, think about drawing, in this case, the right hip crease back. So it's more of a squaring of the hips and opening of the chest. Nice. Draw the breath in. And as you exhale, right hand comes back to the floor. Let the body melt and release. Once more, draw the awareness to your feet so that there's a balance evenly occurring against all the points of the feet that are connecting to the floor. Specifically, plug the big toes in as your anchor. Find a light bend to the knees, a draw of the navel behind the ribs, and we'll slowly roll up to stand. The shoulders roll back down. Take a couple breaths. We'll go ahead and walk forward to the top of the mat. Take the hands to the heart. Take a minute to draw the energy in towards the chest. Find the balance in the left and the right side. Here you might create an intention. It might be the offering of the practice to find stability in the body and the mind, to seek that pause, the eye of the storm amidst all that occurs both in and around you. It can also be something that is specific to you, a dedication or a prayer for peace. Take an inhale here. Pour it out, exhale. To start our flow this morning, we'll extend the arms, cross the right wrist over the left. So open the eyes, press the right lip over the left, palms touch. Take an inhale, flip the arms up into the air, so reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, arch the body over to your right. So squeeze the arms and length of the spine. He's got long arms, so moving the camera. Inhale back through center. Your arms are so long. Exhale, move it all the way over to the right. Find a zip of the low belly, right heel in to protect the low back. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, unravel the hands or the palms in towards the chest. Yep, you know it. Fold forward, let it go. And all the way down. Inhale, extend and lengthen Ardha Uttanasana, so find a flat back. That feels like in your body. And exhale, step strong back to plank, strong and stable. So slow vinyasa flow. With your exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Press strong into the tops of the feet, light engagement in the glutes, and Bhujangasana. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, float it down. So we'll do this 2 more times with little micro twists. Inhale, press the pelvis down as you lift the center of the chest, gaze towards your right. Exhale, melt it to the floor. And stay with the stability and strength. Inhale, press down the hips, lift the heart, gaze towards the left. And exhale, fold it down. Tuck the toes and move through bent knees all the way back to downward facing dog. So this is really interesting for me when I take this flow in my own body. It's very fluid, very wave-like, very different in my husband's body. So everyone's body is different. From the back of the mat, and not that one's better or whatever than the other, it's just an assessment. It'd be fun for us to do this one side by side. Take an inhale to reach the right leg up behind you. Yep. As you exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose, foot towards the third eye. Find a little lift in the back, just enough so you can quietly step the foot between the hands. Left knee comes down. So back to your favorite wrist roll. Right wrist in front of the left, palms touch. Squeeze the palms. Awesome. Come all the way up, Anjaneyasana. From here, pull the hips back slightly so there's a protection in the low back and engagement in the core as you press into the right big toe. So the hips draw back slightly. You're a little bit more upright. Nice. Notice the space this creates in this hip. Take an inhale. And exhale, lean the upper torso over towards your right. We're going to go both ways. So the anchor is the right big toe. The core zipping up. Take an inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale all the way to the left. Just coming off that center line with the most stability that you can. Inhale, lift through center. Unwind the wrists and stay lifted. Pause. Exhale, hands at the heart. Great. Feel strong again and stable. Big toe is the anchor of the front foot, shin, and the big toe of the back foot are the anchor on the left. Pull the navel back, pull the rib cage back to create space as you inhale. Envision your right side of the body as you twist, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Let the elbow or armpit slide down the back of the thigh as you press into the palms to create more opening in the back body. So notice that his shoulders slide down away from his ears as he presses into the palms. Left rib cage is opening up towards the right, strong, steady breath. You can find a lightness in the eyes and the jaw. There's still that squeeze around the outer hips as though someone were holding you in space. And that same action that we took to step the foot forward from down dog as we pulled the knee in towards the nose, Ryan will keep the twist in his body, but turn his gaze down to his right big toe as he begins to tuck the left toes under. As the hips lift, lifting the left knee from the earth, he'll feel a lift in his abdomen. The navel pulls in and up that allows his hips to lift just ever a bit more. From here, grounding strong to the right big toe and stepping his left foot to meet his right, keeping the twist in place. So stepping all the way up into a revolved triangle pose, or excuse me, revolved chair pose. Press into the palms, ground down through the feet, unwind, inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Excellent. As you exhale, fold it all the way forward and down. Inhale, find that half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold all the way down. Go ahead and cross the wrist, this time left over the right, palms connect. Squeeze the palms, come all the way up to stand. Inhale. Exhale, lean the body over towards the left, grounding strong through the right big toe. Navel in, slight tilt of the pelvis. And inhaling through center, exhale opposite side. So the grounding force is the outer edge of the left foot, the navel draws in. Once more, inhale brings you back through center, arms extend. Draw the hands in towards the heart to release, so that little wrist roll as you fold it all the way down to the earth. So half lift and lengthen, draw the hips back, heart forward. Exhale, step, plank pose. All the way down to the floor. 3 rounds Bhujangasana. So inhale through the center line, press through the hips, lift the heart. Exhale. Inhale, this time turning the head to the left, gluing down through the pelvis and the feet. Exhale, melting down to the earth. One more time, inhale, heart lifts, gaze moves over the shoulder. Exhale, drops the heart down and also tucks the toes, lifting you all the way back to Ardha Uttanasana. So playing with that variation on the opposite side. Seeing how steady and stable we can create the strength in our core so that when we move off center, it's with integrity and stability. Inhale, reaching the left leg long behind you. And as you exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Feel the puff up of the back body, the expanse of the back ribs, and then step the left foot between the hands. Right knee comes to the floor. Hands reach in front of the foot, left wrist over the right, palms touch. Inhale, come up through center. As you arrive, draw the hips back in space ever so slightly to protect the low back. And then as you exhale, use the press of the palms to help you move the whole upper portion of your body towards the left. There's a stretch for the hip flexor psoas on the opposite side. You can feel that on the right. The stability comes from the feet, comes from the squeeze of the hips, but also the strength of the core. Inhale back through center, and then exhale. Play with coming off center to the right. And typically one side will feel more stable than the other. See if you can use the grounding force of the breath. Inhale, come through center. We'll release so the hands come in towards the chest, roll the wrist, pause with hands onto the knee. Take a breath here as you inhale to draw the chest back in space to create a little bit more room for the twist. As you inhale, and then the exhale, the right elbow moves towards the outer border of the left thigh. So press the palms enough that you can feel the strength and the space opening up in the back body. But not so much that you feel tension in the jaw or in the wrists. And that opening in space with strength and stability in the foot. From here, we'll start to shift the gaze. So keep the hands as they are, shifting the eyes down towards the left big toe. Find your stability here as you begin to tuck under the right big toe. Without thinking too hard, find a press and a lift to lift the right knee off the floor. Now, without changing too much, we'll lift the hips just a little higher so that when Ryan's ready to step his right foot forward, he's creating a little bit more space to bring the foot up. Press the palms, beautiful, just for a moment, opening up in the twist. Take an inhale, come all the way through center, Utkatasana chair pose. And exhale, fold it forward, let it go. Deep inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold it forward. Come back for Utkatasana once more. So bend the knees, arms reach. Take an inhale. Start to sit the sit bones down a little bit deeper. 3 breaths here, inhale, bottom drops. Exhale. Inhale, bottom drops. Exhale. And whenever you're ready, you'll come all the way down to the floor, finding Navasana. So depending on how you're feeling this morning, right, your boat might be extended legs, it might be bent knees. Taking several breaths here to cultivate that intentional core strength. So we're talking about moving from our center, here we are. It's the idea of squeezing the outer hips in, the broadness through the chest, the extension through the toes. Take an inhale here. And exhale, we'll hover, lower the legs, keep the shoulders lifted, little canoe or Ardha Navasana. So we'll row our boat several times. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Lift. Exhale, lower down. Feels really awkward not to do this at all with him. Inhale, lift, find strength and squeeze. Exhale, lower. You can press through the toes. 2 more, inhale, lift, nice and slow and steady. He's got beautiful form. Exhale, lower. 1 more, come on up, lift. Stay lifted, go ahead and cross the right ankle over the left, draw the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a squeeze. And roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. So get a little stretch for the neck, the shoulder, left shoulder drops down. A little pause, okay, the feet drop down. You know that we're doing both sides. So you can imagine there's more core work to come. As you inhale, come back through center, return to your boat pose. So perhaps the legs are extended or perhaps the knees are bent. Take an inhale here, round 2. As you exhale, lower to hover. So navel pulls in and back towards the spine, toes can spread, chin towards the chest. Inhale, hug everything back in. Use the bandhas, engage the floating locks. Inhale, exhale, lower. We'll hover. Inhale, nice, keep the shoulders lifted when you lower. Exhale, lower, everything draws in towards the center line. Inhale, nice. Exhale, lower, 1 more. Inhale, draw everything back into center, left ankle over right. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Find stability first, and then let the left ear roll towards the left shoulder. Draw the right shoulder down and away. So feel the right shoulder, melting quality. So left ear towards the left shoulder this time. Opposite side. Take a couple breaths there. Gather your energy, take an inhale. And when you're ready, come back through center, lift the head, pull across the legs, roll over the feet. Either step back to downward facing dog or take a little vinyasa, meaning stepping back through plank. You might choose to lower all the way to the earth through Bhujangasana. You might find upward facing dog. Move the hips back. And this is where we'll return to a more intentional breath. Take a deep inhale, fill the body up. And a big exhale to release. Inhale to fill the body up. And exhale to release. So the idea of core strength is also to build up muscle memory, but to create that warrior-like sense, that strong and stable God and goddess energy. And the feminine and masculine ideas of it, it's not like the goddess is for women and the gods are for men. It's this idea that dualities of energy exist within us all, and that we are cultivating the strength of character around both, around that balance. So from here, we'll build on what we started. We'll create a very similar pattern in our body. As we move, we'll begin by extending and pressing the right leg back behind us. Keep all that length and strength accessible. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Quiet, step the right foot between the hands. Right wrist crosses over the left. Press the palms, ground through the right big toe to come all the way up. As you inhale, rise. Once again, there's a little draw of the hips back in space, a slight tuck of the pelvis to engage the low belly. And then on an exhale, letting the upper torso move towards the right. So leaning the body towards the right, finding the hip flexor psoas stretch in the left. The inhale is the stabilizing force as we move through center. The exhale as you move on over towards the left. Fantastic. Inhale, moving through center, unwind the wrist, draw the hands in towards the heart, pause, Anjali Mudra. Nice. Take a breath here to draw the chest back in space, preparing to twist. Exhale, left elbow once more to the outside of the right knee. So we've gone here before, opening up the chest perhaps a bit more, maybe a bit stronger, press to the palms. Notice that the left ribs rotate under, help open towards the right shoulder moves towards the left. Hips hug the center line, so just drawing in the hips. Take a couple breaths here to feel stable and grounded. A lift of the left heel back in space. There's a drawing of the inner arch of the heel up, a lift of the kneecap to find strength in the back body. So Ryan probably knows where he's headed from here. Keep the elbows planted on the outside of the thigh, gaze down at the right big toe. Squeeze in through the core, ground down, and start to lift the left leg into the air. So it's a revolved Ardha Chandrasana, a little bit of balancing. So you can flex through the left foot, left big toe drives down towards the floor. Gorgeous. Finding stability in the center of the storm being balancing on one foot in this case. Take one more strong breath here, beautiful. Keep the hands as they are, slowly step the left foot behind the right. So you're coming into a cross leg variation, a little bit wider than that. So we'll step the left foot more towards the back of the mat, and then walk the hands around towards your right. A little bit or a lot, and this would be a great time if you had blocks to creep them as much as you can with the cross of the legs to find the stretch in the IT band. So outer edge of the left hip, maybe a little bit into the right, depending on your body. You'll notice the more you swing the hips one way, so in this case, the more the hips are swung to the left and the hands move to the right, the stronger stretch you'll feel. And this is up to you to discern where or how much sensation you need in the body. So the quality of what's happening in your body is determined not by how deep your body's going, but it's determined by the discernment and your capacity to add more, to take off, to be in the present moment. We'll do a little bit of a yoga circus trick here. So Ryan will inhale and lift his chest, and exhale, walk himself, his hands all the way around to the left until he twists himself. Will be facing the opposite side of the mat. Yes. Until his hips swing more towards the camera and he walks his hands more towards the right. So you want the opposite leg crossing in front. This time the right leg will be in front, left leg in back. Yeah. You might scissor yourself around a little bit more. And you can do that by walking the left foot under the body more or by walking the hands more towards your left. So think hips one way, hands the other. Working into the outer edges of the legs, the hips. Just a different variation of a twist in our body. Noticing any sensation as you press evenly into the outer edges of the feet. So you can draw the left shoulder head down lightly as the right fingertips extend forward. And again, there's the buoyancy sense in the back body, the grounding force of the core strength. So the little lift and zipper of the low belly as the breath pours and flows into the back of the chest. You can inhale. And then exhale, unwind, walking the hands all the way back around, all the way towards the top of the mat. So yeah. Escape however you'd like. So you might choose from here to take a little press down of the right foot. You might do a little handstand hop. You might escape into a vinyasa like Ryan's doing, or step immediately back into downward facing dog. Back of the mat, find the breath. Away from the steadiness of the inhale. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. And the stability of the exhale. You might do a little check-in here. Okay, I got my fingers spread, my thumbs plugged in. My forearms are hugging in, the outer upper arms are wrapping down and back. The weight is shifting more into the back of my body, to the glutes, into the hips, to the thighs, and then the heels. We'll use our breath again to move into the left side of the body. So as Ryan inhales, he'll extend and lengthen the left leg long. And he'll take that intentional pause and the exhale, knee in towards the nose before he steps it all the way through. This time, left wrist over the right. So left wrist over, palms connect. Big inhale draws the body up. Little light bend in the right knee can help find stability. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, arcing the body over towards the left. So hopefully this feels good on the hip flexor psoas department on the right side. Nice strong breath again. Imagining that you're zipping up a little through the center, like you're squeezing on really tight jeans. And then as you exhale, coming over to the other side. I would never do that. We don't wear jeans here. No. It even feels funny to wear pants in the Caribbean. Hug, hug the palms in towards the center line. Gorgeous. Inhale, come through center. And then unwind, draw the thumbs in towards the heart, land, and pause. Recalibrate here. So if you can push a little bit more actively through the outer edge of the right heel, the inner and the outer edge. There's a strength in the base of the legs. A little bit of a draw back of the chest, so there's space to twist into. And as the exhale of the breath to twist towards the left side. So the right elbow towards the outside of the left thigh. Notice after he hooks, he kind of rebounds and lengthens. So he's pressing down, but also lengthening away from the hips. Crown of the head moves towards the water. A long, steady breath. Let the heart open. Right ribs wrap under. Left shoulder begins to melt towards the right. And a strong press through the right heel. Great. Beautiful structure of the feet. Ground strong into the left big toe. Keep the arms as they are, begin to shift the gaze. And then ever so slightly, you might kind of hippity hop the right foot forward as you begin to pour the weight into the left side. So again, the measure of the practice has nothing to do whether or not you fall out of this pose. It has to do with the mental stability and the steadiness of the breath and our capacity to let it go, not to judge ourselves. Beautiful. Take an inhale here. This time as you exhale, step the right foot back towards the left edge of the mat, as much as you can. Release the arms. Take that hold just for a moment. And then I'm going to ask Ryan to walk his hands around towards me, around towards the right side of the mat. So they'll be facing me and not you. So Prasarita Padottanasana, taking a moment to find stability. Your legs might be a little bit further than you like, or you might want to walk them in or out, it depends. Take the hands under the shoulders. Take a moment here. And we'll take the right hand directly under the face. Excuse me, the left hand directly under the face. Just for a moment, take an inhale to reach the right arm up, twisting towards the right. Gorgeous, nice, strong, steady breath. And then as you exhale, take the hand to the floor. Take the left hand and walk the left hand towards the right leg. Go ahead and reach around, grab the left leg. We'll try that again, reach the right arm up into the air. So that was, yeah. getting more twisted than you even need to sometimes. So right arm is grabbing left leg, opening up. He might choose to keep his hand here if this feels better. For some people's shoulders, it feels better to take the hand to the low back or the sacrum or a half wrap. And take an inhale here. Exhale, both hands come back down. So pause here for a moment. It's going to get a little funky. Ryan's going to turn his right toes towards the back bamboo wall. Left toes stay turned in just a little. Take the right hand around, so right leg will straighten-ish. You might need to shorten your stance a little bit. And we'll move towards triangle pose, facing the back of the wall. So his right hand might slide up his right shin or come to the floor. Left hand starts on the hip as he begins to open the hips and the heart towards the right side. So this is not a direct, graceful dancing transition. Notice if your triangle feels a bit more stable, a bit more like a home base, a familiar pattern in the body. And then once you've taken that observation, see if you can find a little bit more of that same twisting quality in the chest. So the hips are stable, the right ribs are up under, left ribs up. Beautiful. Let's you inhale. And exhale, come all the way back down. Take the hands to the floor. Begin to walk your hands around towards your left leg. Prasarita Padottanasana shape. Come back, pause. Come back, Prasarita Padottanasana. And exhale, fold in. And so we'll move through just one of those twist variations this time. We'll take the right hand over, walk it all the way over towards the left shin. Go ahead and grab a hold of the left shin, ankle, something in that department. If you can't reach, not a big deal. You can walk the legs in a little bit closer together. Ryan has really long limbs. Yeah. So, and then from there, if it feels good, you may extend and open the left arm up. You might choose to take that wrap. Again, working with the stability. So the hips are moving back towards the camera, heart moving up towards the left side. Really nice. So see if I can direct this one a little bit more smoothly, but either way, you know we're heading towards triangle. Take an inhale here as you exhale, fold it down. So slowly, the left toes are going to begin to start to point towards the top of the mat. Right toes angle in 45-ish degrees. The degrees are really difficult to say, right? You know, it's a slight tip. You want to be able to press into the outer edge of the foot. Hand to the shin, to the thigh, to the inside. And there's a little bit of hug of the hips in and back as the spine and the head lengthen away from the back of the body. So lengthening out of the hips. Spend a little turn under of the ribs, melting of the shoulders to create a little bit more space between the ear, shoulders opening in the neck. Nice lightness of breath, stability in space. Beautiful. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, unwind. Hands come down, bringing the foot, untucking or unfolding the back foot in yogi's choice. You might choose to step directly back. You might find a vinyasa here, rinsing, releasing. Wherever you are in space, let's take a moment, either in down dog or child's pose, whatever serves your practice. Recharging for a moment. This is a great reminder for me, actually. Down dog and child's pose are not your only options. Specifically, if you're feeling heated in the body, whether you're at home doing Zoom or you're in a studio, it's always your body, always your practice, and it's always your choice. Your creativity, your intuition, your ability to honor what you need are always where it's at. We'll take one more cycle of breath. And refueling, tapping into our warrior, to that inner strength. Being a warrior or someone who is strong and protected doesn't mean that we move through our life angry or as though everything is a battle. But we have the capacity to call on these pieces and parts of ourselves when we are called forth when it is a difficult time, when we are in a storm. And that we have the capacity to discern when we need this energy or a different type. And float our way back to downward facing dog. Begin to transition to some more seated twister. So much like we've done this entire practice, as you inhale, extend and lengthen the right leg long behind you. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands, high lunge or low lunge, highish, lowish lunge. There you go. Beautiful. As we went through the practice, all of the weight is balancing steady and strong over the right foot, anchoring through the right big toe. A little buoyancy in the back of the body, so you feel the breath as the navel zips up, a little bit of a lift in the chest as you inhale to help us step the left foot all the way through. And as you begin to step the left foot through, right hand will come to the outer or the inner edge of your left foot, little mini pistol squat. Hovering here for a breath. Ryan makes this look easy. No beating yourself up if the butt hits the floor too quickly or more quickly than you'd like. So you can relax the face and the eyes and quietly sit the bottom to the floor. Very nice. Keeping the left leg extended. Bring the left leg to the floor as well. Keeping it extended on the floor. The right sole of the foot will either draw into the left inner thigh, or if you have Ardha Padmasana in your practice, you can draw the pinky toe edge of the right foot in towards the ground. If you've got Ardha Padmasana, you might be going for a bind here. If you do not, if you're in the Janu Shirshasana variation, we're going to take a little bit of a twist. So grounding and stabilizing through the sit bones, lengthen and extend through the right arm first. You might even pop up onto the pads of the left fingers to create space as you inhale. Strong and stable through the hips. We'll twist pinky side of the right arm towards the pinky toe of the left foot. Same little bit of a twist. Right ribs move lightly towards the outside of the left leg. And Ryan's hand might start to walk a little bit further out or away. And this is where you can experiment with how that feels, almost as though you're ushering your chest through the threshold of the left side of the body. There's a sliding of the ribs in the chest. Allow the left shoulder to melt. Use the anchoring of the right sit bone. We'll inhale to come all the way back through center, keeping the legs as they are. So Marichyasana C, if the foot is in Padmasana, you'll keep the foot in Padmasana. If it's not, you won't. Ryan already knows where we're going. So we'll step the left sole of the foot down, grounding strong into the sit bones, reach the left arm into the air. Take an inhale here, right fingertips are down by the side or back behind you. Exhale, left arm inside the thigh. Turning the left thumb down, reach it around the back of the body. So it might grab nothing, you might grab your butt, your pant leg, or you might be able to reach the right fingertips around towards the left. Whatever you're holding on to, give it a little squeeze. Feel the length as the arms draw back, as the left knee and inner thigh draw in, and exhale, find the tilt. Let the breath be your strength here. Quiet inhale and quiet exhale. As we move more through our vinyasa flows, if we have, or when we have more time, we'll dive more into the different battles, to the type of goddess that Durga is, to the protective energy, to the demons that she slays. But suffice to say that for here, her steadfast qualities are what we are after. The stability and the quiet cadence of slowing ourselves down. Releasing the mind. Taking an inhale. As you come through center, extend the left leg forward. Keep the right leg as it is just for a moment. Left hand comes all the way around behind the back body. And press down. Find a little back bend here as we lean forward into the right shin, lifting the hips, reaching the right arm overhead. A little early. Just a little bit. And then you might come around, bringing the hips back down to the floor. Walking the right hand back behind the body. Just seeing what that feels like on the opposite side. Left arm reaches, lifting the hips, lifting the heart. Intuitively, one side will probably feel more natural than the other. Exhale, hips come all the way back down. So escaping however you like. It can be a yoga choreography moment where you cross your ankles and float or fly back, or it can be just like a spill and step. Gorgeous, right? All the way back down, we're facing dog. This is where I face plant, so. Draw the breath in, feel the influx of breath. Lift the chest, lift the back body. Let it go, exhale. So same thing, opposite side, whole new breath of experience. Left leg lengthens and extends. And then as you exhale, step it forward for that high-low lunge. So we're not coming up, hands stay down on the ground. Weight shifts into the left foot. Hips stay a little bit higher than normal, perhaps. So keeping them lifted. Draw the belly in so there's space as you begin to step the right foot through. So coming through that pistol lunge. Hands can be on the floor or not. Oh, you might twist across the wrist like Ryan's doing. Letting yourself hover for a breath or two before settling the bottom onto the floor. And this is where you get to choose your variation of our Janu Sirsasana twist. So he's got his left foot to the inside of the right thigh, then a light flexion of the foot, and take the right hands to the outer edge of the hip or outside the leg. And use your breath. On the exhale breath, he's rotating the chest towards the outside of the right leg. So your hand might not come down that far on your leg, and that's completely fine. Again, everyone's body is different. As we mentioned, Ryan does have really long limbs. So finding a space that works for you, we're not forcing yourself into anything, but we're not dimming ourselves down, right? Moving into our own practice in our own body. So there's a grounding and an anchoring quality in the legs and hips, right? No surprise. This is often where we ground and twist. But then there's that sliding, an idea of moving into something new. That we're creating all this space in our body for a reason. That we're opening into these dark corners in our mind so that we might shed some light into our hearts. That we look at archetypes in mythology because we are interested in going deeper. We're interested in what separates and unites us as humans and as energy bodies. So inhale, begin to unwind, come back to center. Exhale, release that foot. Take a moment to sit up tall. Varichasana C. So the left leg stays where it is. That's available. Right knee comes in, right sole of the foot to the floor. Closer the heel is in, the more, the little bit easier it will be to create a bind. So left hand comes behind you, right arm lengthens and extends. So you can inhale, feel the grounding of the whole base of your body. And get the arm forward, turning his thumb down, reaching around the back of the body. So you can have a strap here if you'd like or need, but props aren't necessary. You can be reaching for the shirt, the pants, or the hands. There's a squeeze in and an extension forward. And there is a balancing aspect here too. As you stabilize the body, as the mind falls in line with the breath, see if you can notice any gripping or squeezing in your body. So yes, there's a gripping in the hands, right? But is there a squeezing in the shoulders or the ears, in the glutes or in the perineum? Can you soften somewhere and still maintain this balance? We often try to do this in yoga because that softening is the pause. It's melting into the moment. One more breath cycle here. And as you exhale, unwind the bind. Lift the torso, extend the right leg long. So same thing, both twists once more. Take the right hand outside or back behind the right side of the body. Begin to tip the weight forward slightly into the left shin. Inhale to lift the hips. And one side might feel tighter or more foreign than the opposite. And the exhale breath brings the bottom all the way down. A little dance, left hand comes all the way back around to the back body, right arm lifts, arcs the spine, almost like Kattamakrasana, like a little mini wild thing. And as you exhale, sliding the hips back down to the floor. Crossing the ankles, this time we're working to arrive on our abdomen, so coming down to your belly. So flip flop all the way down. Very nice. Take the arms out wide, your full wingspan. Hands in line with the shoulders. Excellent. As he's turning his head towards his right, go ahead and draw the left knee in and up like a frog leg. So the inside of the thigh is pressing to the ground. A little bit of flexion in the left foot. So we'll do both sides. Knee draws in one side, head turns the other way. Like a twist that's slatted on the floor. And Ryan, I'm actually going to steal from your playbook here because I liked this this variation of little wing so much in Ryan's in class, and I've never done it this way before. So this is a little bit easier too for me to show since I'm not lying on the floor. But on the right side of your body, this arm will come into a 90-degree angle, and the more sensation you'll feel is the more the elbow is in line with the shoulder. So go ahead and slide your arm up. So bending the elbow. Okay. Turn your gaze towards your left. We'll pop up onto the pads of the left fingertips. We're using the left fingertips and the left foot to start to roll the weight onto the right shoulder. So the more, the deeper down the elbow is drawing in, the greater sensation that you'll feel on the front head of the shoulder. So you might have the foot step behind you. The foot is meant to be an anchor to create stability. It may or may not feel good in your low back. I know that doesn't feel amazing in his low back at times. So you can have a block or something behind you to press into.
Thank you.
Your left hand is a rudder, so your left hand is directing the body. How much weight am I putting on my right shoulder? You're looking for sensation here. Enough that you can still breathe and be present. Enough to know that we're not moving into a ripping and tearing sensation. And everyone's body is a little bit different. This variation, as I was shown by Ryan on Thursday, can bring a whole new host of sensations because a lot of us carry a forward carriage. We spend a lot of time in our computer, in our phone, in our car, sitting, reading, with this motion in our shoulders. Notice if this variation feels deeper or more intense in your body. And if you're not feeling anything, arm flat, draw down, rolling onto that shoulder head so you're opening up through the front. Just take one more inhale on this side. And as you exhale, slowly come back to center. Bring the hips to the floor, bring the arms back wide. Beautiful, turn the head the opposite way. Big inhale and a full. Yeah, give your hips a little shimmy. See if you can find a neutral space because we'll be moving into the opposite side. So we'll start more with that twist, more of the little frog leg. Same thing we often do on our back. Great, so the right thigh draws in, right inner thigh to the floor, foot is flexed. Right thigh is in, head turns towards the left. Give yourself just a couple of cycles of breath to feel the expanse of your body. we'll come into the shoulder opener on the opposite side. Take the left hand, bend the elbow 90 degrees. So the elbow moves down and in more towards the ribs. Take your gaze over towards your right hand, kind of climb up onto the fingertips and use this as a director, or, I got you. And so, okay, your body, your practice, you might need to adjust. Give yourself enough creative freedom. If you're finding a lot of pain or tweaking in the low back, that's not the sensation that we're looking for in this posture. So Ryan is attempting to offset that by elevating his foot or leg. That may or may not work for your body. And using the right hand again to determine how much weight you're placing on the left side of your shoulder. So going into a space where you can find sensation, you know something is happening. There might be a tightness, there might be a gripping. Let your breath be the eye of the storm. So around that battlefield of sensation, around the fight or flight response, around perhaps your desire to get out, to flee and escape. Let the breath be that warrior, that steady force that enables you to stay present with your body in this moment. Nice. Take one more cycle of breath here. And as you exhale, move back through center. You're going to take your time. Notice he's moving slow. Unwinding the body. The arms relax. Let the head turn to whatever side feels good. Is that okay? And with as little fanfare as possible, we'll roll from this position onto our backs towards Shavasana. If you'd like to take a Shavasana where you are on your belly, that's just fine. When you arrive on your back, if there's anything else that you need, if there's an additional twist or a little readjustment, we've done clearly a lot of twisting, opening of the chest and the heart. But whenever you're ready, letting the full unraveling take place. Letting the breath release. Letting the hips and the heart unwind. So Shavasana is always where we unravel. It's where we undo whatever we've been learning, where we unlearn, where we unmake the entire strength and structure of our practice. All the way from the physical, from the gross matter to the subtleties of the spirit. We give ourselves time just to be. Release the body, release the breath, with the eyes closed. If you're at home and you have more time, I most definitely recommend giving yourself about another 5 minutes to relax, to release. If you needed to close right on the hour, you close our Shavasana here and our practice at the same time. Allowing the breath to become a more conscious piece of the moment. As you lay on the back, you can notice the breath in equal measure in the front and the back of the body. The inhale, ride on up. The exhale, receive. We started prostrate. Now we're lying on our backs. Notice if you can come back to that same wave of energy, same wave of rhythm and connection. Wherever you are, perhaps taking the hands to a gesture that feels like reverence. It might be the hands to the heart, one hand touch the other, belly. Closing the cycle and the ritual of our practice with vibration and sound. Tuning into the mantra of Om. Find your breath, take an inhale. Namaste.